Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of all the official paperwork that big companies generate and maybe find a hidden gem or two. Today we're looking at ASHLAND Incorporated, and let's just say their latest report might have some interesting decisions being made by the shareholders. What exactly happened at their annual meeting? And what do these votes really mean for the company's future direction? Before we dive in, if you want more straightforward breakdowns of important corporate filings like this, make sure you are subscribed. Also, we have a growing community on Discord all about decoding finance, and you can find the link in the description below. So, we've got ASHLAND Incorporated's latest filing detailing what went down at their annual shareholder meeting held on the 20th of January 2026. Think of this as the company's report card from its owners, the shareholders on how things have been run and who should be in charge. This particular document, a Form 8K, is what companies use to announce big news that shareholders need to know about right away. And in this case, the big news is the results of their annual meeting where shareholders cast their votes on important company matters. First off, ASHLAND Incorporated had a pretty good turnout for their meeting. Over 90% of the shares that could be voted were represented either in person or by proxy. This means the decisions made there are really solid and have broad shareholder backing. It is like most of the class showed up to vote on the class president. Now, let's get to the actual votes. There were three main things shareholders were asked to decide on. The first and arguably the most important was the election of directors. These are the folks who sit on the board and oversee the company's strategy and management. Basically, shareholders were voting on who they want steering the ship. And good news for the current board members named, they were all re-elected. Take Stephen D. Bishop, for example, he received a massive 376,906 28 votes in favour. That is a huge endorsement. And it looks like all the nominees, including Sanat Chattopadhyay and Susan F. Harrison, got overwhelming support, with their 4 votes significantly outweighing any against votes. This suggests shareholders are happy with the current leadership and guidance. Next up, shareholders voted on the company's choice for its independent auditor. For fiscal year 2026, they were ratifying the appointment of Ernst & Young LLP. Now, this is pretty standard stuff. Companies need an independent firm to check their financial books to make sure everything is on the up and up. And just like the directors, this appointment was overwhelmingly approved with 414832934 votes. This shows shareholders trust the auditor choice. The third proposal was a bit more advisory in nature concerning the compensation of the company's top executives. It is often called a say-on-pay vote. Shareholders were asked to approve the compensation packages for the named executive officers, and here too the majority voted in favour, with 365,93493 votes for. While it is an advisory vote, a strong against vote would send a clear message to the board that executives might be getting paid too much or not performing well enough to warrant their current compensation. In this case, it seems shareholders are generally content with how the top brass is being compensated, though there were still over 1 million votes against, which is something the board will likely consider. The report is signed off by Robin E. Lampkin, who holds a pretty key role as Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Secretary. This signifies that all the necessary internal approvals have been made, and the company is officially submitting this information to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Looking at the overall picture here, ASHLAND Incorporated is reporting successful outcomes from its annual shareholder meeting. The re-election of all directors and the approval of the auditor and executive compensation suggest a stable leadership and shareholder confidence. It is a vote of confidence really in the current direction of the company. Now, what does this all mean for the average investor or someone just curious about the corporate world? Well, for starters, a smooth annual meeting with overwhelmingly positive votes typically signals stability. It means there aren't major internal battles or significant shareholder dissent that could disrupt operations or strategy. The election of directors is crucial because these individuals make fundamental decisions about the company's future, its investments, and its overall strategy. When they get a strong vote of confidence, it suggests the shareholders believe the current leadership's vision is sound. The ratification of auditors like Ernst & Young LLP is also a quiet but important vote of confidence. It means shareholders trust that the company's financial reporting is being scrutinized by a reputable firm, which is vital for transparency and investor trust. The say-on-pay vote is becoming increasingly significant. While advisory, a strong disapproval can signal to the board that shareholders believe executive compensation is out of line with company performance. ASHLAND's result shows general approval, but the number of against votes is still notable. It's a reminder that executive pay is always under scrutiny and boards need to justify compensation decisions based on clear performance metrics. In essence, ASHLAND has navigated its annual meeting with flying colours, with shareholders largely endorsing the current leadership and operational choices. This kind of outcome often leads to continued stability and predictable execution of the company's existing strategies. There don't appear to be any immediate signals of major strategic shifts or leadership upheavals based on this report. It is a quiet confirmation that the current path is, for the most part, acceptable to the owners of the company. Alright, that is our breakdown of ASHLAND Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think the stability shown here is a good thing for long-term growth, or does it suggest a lack of new ideas? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate finance. And don't forget to check out the Discord community, linked in the description below, for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching. See you next time.